Ashe, Ashe and Grand Rising, a grand day to you all. Once again, my fellow humans. And welcome to this, the 11th in the series of Another Perspective on Healthy Living with your senior lifestyle advisor plus the mystic philosopher. Now at the end of episode 10, and as customary, where I ran out of time, I promised that I will continue here in episode 11, adding more proof and proving the points that I have made in all previous episodes. That one, bad mind people are all sick people. Bad mind people are corrupt minded people. Bad minded people are all mentally ill people. Bad mind people are diseased people. Bad mind people are not at ease in their mind, aka they are mentally diseased. And if or when we are not at ease in our mind or at peace in our mind, which as I defined earlier, our mind being our metaphysical space, then it is impossible for us to be at ease or at peace in our living bodies. And that all sickness and diseases, as can be seen, expressed, and manifest in our physical bodies, begin and end in our metaphysical space, also known as our mind. And that all remedies, all solutions, all cures for all illnesses can be seen as illnesses, as can be seen, expressed, and manifest in our physical bodies, begin and end in our minds. Thus, the place to look for all cures for all sicknesses is in all sicknesses that are manifest in our physical body. The place to look for all cures for them is in our minds, in our mental space, in our metaphysical space. It is not at the doctor's office. Don't go to look for cure for a sickness at the doctor's office or at any medical facilities for that matter. It is not at some health food store or stores. The cure for illness is not at any health food stores. It is not at any religious centers or barnyard, as we in Jamaica would say back in the day. Barnyard, or woman or woman practice, or place of practice, or places of practice. It is not at any spiritual centers. You name it or you name them. It is not found in drug stores, or it is not found in drugs, be it legal drugs or illegal drugs, pharmaceutical or not, or in alcohol. It is not found in having a whole army surrounding us for our physical security or to protect us from our enemies. And sometimes our enemies that we may have consciously or unconsciously created. Sometimes because of our own bad mind. It is not having the power or influence, control or even to destroy other people's lives, physically, financially, and otherwise. But from my perspective, all cures for all illnesses are found in the mind, and it must come from the mind, aka our individual mind. Now, from my perspective, another name, or even more accurately, another symptom for bad mind is stress, the thing called stress. Almost all, if not all, stresses are bad mind. Or almost all, if not all, stresses are the symptoms of what? Bad mind. The thing called stress is a mind disorder. And chronic stress is just another name for chronic bad mind. And in answering the question, what are symptoms of chronic stress? And in my own words, what are symptoms of chronic bad mind? Or even more bluntly, how do I know if or when I or someone else have chronic bad mind? Now here is a quote from a website called verywellmind.com. And I quote, "Chronic stress affects both the mind and body. It produces both physical and psychological symptoms that can take a toll on take a toll on a person's ability to function normally in their daily life. These symptoms can vary in their severity from one person to the next. Some of the most common signs of chronic stress include aches and pains, decreased energy, difficulty sleeping, disorganized thinking, fatigue, feeling a loss of control, feeling of helplessness, or rather feelings of helplessness, frequent illnesses and infections, gastrointestinal complaints, headaches, irritability, muscle tension, nervousness and anxiety, trouble concentrating, upset stomach," unquote. So you see how much disease and problems bad mind cause? Here is another quote from another site called webmd.com, and it said stress, which as I mentioned before, I call stress what? Bad mind. Stress can lead to physical symptoms include headaches, upset stomach, elevated blood pressure, chest pain, and problems sleeping. Research suggests that stress also can bring on or worsen certain symptoms of diseases. Stress also becomes harmful when people use alcohol, tobacco, or drugs to try to relieve their stress. Unquote. When our mind is at ease, or when our mind is calm, our physical body is also at ease. Our physical body will also be calm. When our mind is free from impurities, we, meaning our bodies, are free indeed. However, if or when our conscience or our internal monitoring justice system that I spoke about earlier, in an earlier episode, our internal monitoring system that says to thine own self, be true. And you may remember that I told you that we can lie and deceive others with our words, but we can't lie and deceive ourselves with our thoughts. And the evidence has shown that all those among us that try to do that always end up mad. So if or when our conscience is nagging us, if or when our conscience is bugging and reminding us of our own wrongdoings, our own injustices, when our guilty conscience is haunting us, when we know that we have or that we are deliberately and intentionally hurting somebody, when we know that we have intentionally and deliberately robbed somebody, tell lie on somebody, if or when we hurt somebody by telling lie on them and make them, for example, lose their jobs, break up their family, you name it or you name them, we are not at ease and we are not at peace. We are not well, and nor can we be at ease, and nor can we be at peace, and nor can we be well. we automatically become restless souls. Why think so many people end up on the wrong bar? I end up the way they are, sick with all the aforementioned diseases. We become troubled in our spirit. Once we deliberately and intentionally hurt people, we become troubled in our spirit. We are actually alive while living in hell. Remember, I also told you before that from my perspective, hell, just like heaven, is a mental thing. If or when our mind is well, our body is also well. And as my late mother would say, if your conscience set you free, praise God. So sometimes examine yourself. If you are deliberately hurting people, as mentioned before, and intentionally lying and robbing people and doing all these things, don't expect to have a peaceful and a calm and happy life. But more on that later. No wonder you're so sick. No wonder you have no energy. No wonder you can't sleep at night. You torment. Check yourself, examine your mind. Anyhow, when we are stressed out, or when we may hear somebody say that we are stressed out, it is because of bad mind. Defined it earlier, please, if you haven't seen from episode 1 to now episode 10, and now we are in episode 11, please go back and do so. As I'm building the foundation to come with more things later, please follow them in chronological order or in consecutive order. So when we are stressed out, or when we may hear somebody say that they are stressed out, it is because of what? Bad mind. Fix our mind and we fix all our problems. Fix our mind and we fix our body as well. We could be the most materially rich, wealthy and powerful man or woman on the planet Earth. We could be eating the best and the most expensive foods, vegan or whatever, that money can buy. We could be taking the best and the most expensive medications, going to the best doctors, psychiatrists, psychologists, psychoanalysts, and shrinks. You name them. We could be doing all sorts of exercises and living in luxury, etc. You name it or you name them. But if or when our minds are corrupt, meaning if or when we have a bad mind, and as defined earlier, the fact still remains that we are terribly sick. We are unhealthy. We are just not well. In fact, regardless of our social status, we are just a waste man or a waste woman. And to the best of my current knowledge and recollection, the only trans and the only form of transition and transformation, etc., that my most honorable ancestors, along with all the other mystics, ancient spiritual leaders, healers and teachers, talk about and recommend for healing, and as recorded also in the Adamic race history and holy book known as the Christian Holy Bible, is not a trans-physical or a trans-matter or a trans-mass, but it is the transformation of the mind. It is the transformation of our metaphysical space. And I quote, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind," unquote. And that is from the Adamic Race History and Holy Book according to Romans 12 and verse 2, New International Version. But again, I have run out of time, my people, for this segment. So I ask that you please join me in episode 12, where and when I will continue proving these points about the dangers of bad mind, and show you and tell you more as to how you too may know and how you too can know a bad-minded person, a sick person, and how we may heal ourselves from bad mind. I also ask that if you can, that you please support this series of short presentations titled Another Perspective on Healthy Living by simply purchasing your daily supply of lignans from the Norwegian spruce tree, aka Fountain of Life, from yours truly, I, the Mystic Philosopher, by clicking on the links provided in the description below this video. You may also purchase a digital copy of my song. The version that you hear playing in the background right now is called Have You Heard of Fountain of Life? You can do that by just clicking on the link by the same name. Now, your kind support will be greatly appreciated. I have a lot of things to produce, and if you can support by purchasing Fountain of Life, aka lignans, and I will be talking as promised more about that and tell you what it is and the benefits and so forth. So please stay tuned. In the meantime and between time, my dear beloved people, in your becoming, because you are becoming something. In your becoming, I will let you be more and more, and not less, aka blessed. For I am the Mystic Philosopher. Ashe, 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 I say.